He opened his eyes. Cold light spilled through the curtains. A ceiling he didn't recognize. The smell of coffee from another room. It wasn't his house. Not the bed he fell asleep in. Not the sheets, not the air. Not even the weight of his own body. But what hit harder than anything else was the silence in his head. No panic, no rush of memories, just a deep, quiet knowing that something had changed. Radically. He sat up. His hands moved differently. Slower. Stronger. Older? The mirror confirmed the impossible. The man staring back wasn't the man who went to sleep. Not in shape, not in age, not in posture. And yet, those eyes. The eyes were still his. He walked through the house. Every room whispered a memory that didn't belong to him. Yet somehow, everyone acted like he had always lived there. Photos on the wall. Him, but not him. Him at a wedding he didn't remember, with a woman he didn't recognize. Him holding kids he had never met, calling him dad without hesitation. He knew something was wrong, but no one else did.
It started with the phone calls. Voices on the other end greeted him by name. First name, last name. Laughed. Talked like old friends. Asked about things he had no memory of. Business deals, a cabin in the mountains, a boat he had apparently crashed last summer. He played along at first, said little, let them talk. But every detail they gave built a life, brick by brick, that he had never lived. And yet, it was his. Everyone insisted. The strangest part, he was good at it. He walked into the office, his office, apparently. People stood when he entered, called him boss. He found himself giving orders, solving problems, signing documents, like his mind had been wired for this world, as if his body had muscle memory for a life he never lived. Confidence came fast, too fast. Like deep inside, he was made for this version of himself. The man who owned the room, the man with the voice that made others listen, the man who had built an empire, not by accident, but with purpose. And yet, he couldn't remember laying a single brick.
It started with the phone calls. Voices on the other end greeted him by name. First name, last name, laughed, talked like old friends. Asked about things he had no memory of. Business deals, a cabin in the mountains, a boat he had apparently crashed last summer. He played along at first, said little, let them talk. Days passed, maybe weeks. Time was slippery here. He started asking questions, quietly, carefully. But no matter how deep he dug, he found no cracks. Every answer lined up. The documents were real, the photos authentic, the people sincere. Old friends invited him to reunions he didn't recall attending before. They shared stories, pulled out pictures, laughed at inside jokes that meant nothing to him, but everything to them. He was in the eye of a storm that no one else could see. He wasn't crazy. He was just somewhere else. And then it hit him. What if this wasn't a mistake? What if he didn't wake up in someone else's life, but in a different version of his own? Not a dream, not a trick, a shift. Like the universe had handed him a fork in the road and made the choice for him.
There were no answers, no obvious glitch, no loud alarm going off. Just a new life, unfolding like it had always been his. So he stopped searching for the exit and started asking himself a different question. What do I do now? Because here's the truth. He liked the man he had become. This version of him was sharper, stronger, respected, feared in the boardroom, loved at home. He was everything he used to dream of being back in that other life. And maybe that was the lesson. Maybe this was who he was meant to be all along. No past to hold him back, no mistakes to carry, just the raw weight of now, of choice. So, he made one. He stayed. Not out of confusion, not because he had to, but because he finally saw himself. Not as a stranger lost in someone else's life, but as a man who had stepped into the life he was always chasing. And this time, he wasn't letting go.
The world didn't stop turning. Emails kept coming, people kept calling, deals kept closing, but inside, something fundamental had shifted. He no longer felt like a ghost in someone else's home. He walked with purpose, spoke with fire, loved with presence, built with intention. Every moment became sacred, every choice deliberate. And every now and then, late at night, he would stare into the mirror, into those same eyes, and wonder, what happened to the man he used to be? Maybe he died in his sleep. Or maybe, just maybe, he finally woke up, not in a different life, but in the one he was meant to live.